Good morning. So, virtue talk today. This week, modesty. I don't know about you, but immediately it feels like the girls always are the ones we focus on for modesty. It feels like we're always talking about what we're wearing or what we're saying. I think more what we're wearing. That's like the first thought that comes to my mind. And so let's briefly talk about that. We don't like people telling us what to do. Why is somebody telling me what I can wear and what I can't wear? I can decide for myself. That's one way to approach modesty, which isn't going to get you very far down the road of virtue. So we have to change our mindset. What is modesty? Why do we worry about what we're putting on? Well, what's the goal of the clothes we're wearing? Is it to get attention in a certain way? If we are dressing immodestly, is that attention a positive or is it a negative? Is it virtuous? If we're showing more skin than we need to, is that virtue? No. So why the rules, right? Why do we feel, why do we rebel so much against rules? Let's get into the spirit of why we do everything. Is it for ourselves? Or is it for God? What is this whole life about? Is it about us? Or is it about God? It's about God and my relationship with Him. If I can keep that at the forefront of everything I do, that changes the way I look at everything. No longer am I rebelling against somebody telling me what I can or cannot wear, for instance, and that's only a very small part of modesty. But instead, I am thinking, how am I serving and praising God through what I do? If I'm going to wear something that's going to be immodest, is that serving or praising God? No. The human body is a beautiful thing. God created that. It is amazing. And it is beautiful. Why do you think it's a subject of so much art? Because there's so much beauty in God's creation. Let me let you in on a little something if you haven't been to an art museum. There's a lot of nudity in art museums. But it's not focused on a worldly view of nudity, which our culture takes the beauty of God that God has created in the human body and turns it into something the opposite of virtue. Instead, it is art celebrating the absolute beauty of what God created. So you can even have that and have it, in a sense, be virtuous. It's all what our goal is with it. If we're striving to get attention for something, let's take this now past just dressing, okay? Because boys, I'm not going to leave you out of this. What are the things that we're doing to get attention? I would ask you to think a little bit about social media. What are the things you see on there that people are doing for attention? I don't see much. I don't have TikTok, but of course see those things everywhere. But it seems like there's a lot of videos of people prancing around celebrating bodies, muscles, a lot of shirtless males with their abs and their... What's the point of that? Is that attention for God, or is that attention for themselves? Do you see the difference? When people are putting themselves out there in a physical way, which is again just one piece of modesty, that's about getting attention for themselves. And that, you guys, is the human condition. We're so self-focused, right? So modesty is just one example of that. So it can be what you're wearing. If you're presenting yourself in a way that you are wanting to get attention for yourself in a negative way. It can be also any way that you present yourself. Are you trying to show off your strength? Are you trying to show off your muscles? Are you trying to show off your accomplishments because it's somehow becoming all about you? I think all of that falls into our virtue this week. How are we presenting ourselves to the world? And is it because we want attention for ourselves? Or is it because we are trying to praise and glorify God who gave us every single thing that we have? And if we keep God at the center, oh my gosh, you guys, like this would literally be the only virtue talk I would need to do. If human beings in our sinful nature could just get over ourselves, and everything we would do would be simply about God, think how that would change the world. Because if we are focused on God, we are focused on the dignity with which He created every human being, the dignity with which He created every human body part, and it would be a blossoming of virtue. So let's shift our focus this week when we think about modesty. Why am I doing the things that I do? Why am I wearing this? Is it about me, or is it about giving glory to God? And I think, the dress code can be a little bit, I don't think it falls necessarily under modesty per se, but I think it's something we can look at. We don't like rules. We don't like people telling us how long our shorts have to be, right? We don't like being told we have to wear a certain shirt. Who's it about? Is it about you, or is it about God? And I think our school is doing an amazing thing on Mass Day. When we walk into church and we all say, I am doing this, I am going to wear this, I am going to make an extra effort, I am going to put my own wants aside for a minute. And I am going to do this for you, God. Man, that's the heart of virtue. So if we can look at our dress code through those eyes, all of a sudden, maybe we don't feel like we want to fight it so bad. It's all about God. It's not about me. It's not about you. And part of modesty is that, remember, we not only want to get to heaven, but we want to take as many people with us as we can. So I think a big piece of modesty can be, don't lead your neighbor astray. What you do matters, not only to you, but to others. So if I can bring it back to the dress thing again, if you're wearing something that is inappropriate, too short, too revealing, if you're showing too much of your muscles, your ability, your possessions, your wealth, any of that, how is that affecting your neighbor? Are you doing things to bring out lustful desires in others? Do you think that's going to help them get to heaven? Are you doing things to bring out jealousy in others? Is that going to help them get to heaven? Instead, if we are focused on God, focused on virtue, it just is going to bring us so much peace. And again, we come back to that every time. God, peace. When we're fighting against something, are we peaceful? No. When we're fighting against the dress code, are we peaceful? No. And there's a different way to look at things. Do we want to be told what to do? No. Do we think, well, people shouldn't have the right to tell me what to do? Well, yeah, you probably have a point with that. But why are you doing things? Let's bring it back to that. Why are you doing things? Is it about you, or is it about God in this moment? And think about it in terms of where you are. Do we dress the same to go to church as we do to go to the beach? You know, there's a time and a place too, right? Do you wear your mass dress code clothes to the beach to go on a picnic with your friends? No, it's about appropriateness of place, right? But when we walk into that church and we give ourselves to God and we say, God, in this moment, I am sacrificing what I want for you because you are so amazing and you have given me every single thing that I have. Let me tell you, my little middle school friends, that is going to bring you a tremendous amount of peace. Much different than walking into the church and saying, oh, I can't believe I have to wear this shirt today. Oh, I can't believe I have to wear these pants and not my short shorts today. Is there peace in your heart when you're thinking those things to yourself? No. So this week, and every week with our virtue, let's put the focus on God and what we know is the entire purpose for our being here. We're going to get to heaven, and we're going to take as many people with us as we can. Have a good day.